Everybody, Todd Abel doing night ops again out there last night. Give you a quick update what we had going on. I'll start over here in Bravo, Bravo, and Hotel. That was in patrol status. The state fire marshal folks had some engines over there patrolling. We didn't get any smoke calls last night or reports to go check out, so it was a quiet night in there for them. They continued to be diligent in there and make sure everything stayed where it was supposed to. Coming around into Alpha Alpha, where this was burned out yesterday, looked really good. We were able to get a bunch of water in there and start mopping that up, and things are looking good. So hopefully that'll definitely set you guys up for success today. We were going to try to fire off down along this dozer line that dropped down to DP 105. We were all prepared to do that. We did a little bit more prepping in there to make sure it was squared away. We had a couple issues up there last night. About a half hour after the day shift folks left, we had 4 trees come across the road, and that continued through the night. So I hope you guys are getting my hint. Be very careful out there today. About 2 o'clock this morning, they started falling across the 25 road. Probably 4 to 6 of them across the 25. Once again, please take my hint. Be very heads up out there today. There could be some issues for you guys. I want to make sure everybody's safe out there. But it still looks good. Everything's good there. They are going to try to put a little fire, get started this morning if they can, to hand off to the day shift to finish this up. They also did some prepping around some of the community center down there right on the pavement to help clean that up a little bit and set you guys up for success. Coming into Gleese, this area right here, fire did back down to just north of the 122 drop point there. So fire is backing down. It looks great. It's just kind of flanking. It's squared up. It should be okay for you guys this morning. We just monitored it last night, so no issues there. Talking with our UAV folks last night, it sounds like coming off that steep stuff, they were getting rollouts and it would push itself back up, roll out, push itself back up. But it sounds like that was on the upper part of the slope. I didn't really notice any of that. On the lower part, it just nice, good backing, squared up, flanking type fire. So should be easy to deal with. Coming around into India, they continue to prep along this road. Still just pushing their way south to help you guys out in there. The fire is obviously up against the dozer line in some places there. It doesn't have a whole bunch of depth, but our UAV folks said that it's not deep enough to take a punch from the main body of the fire. So I know there's plans in there to work on that. You'll hear about that later, but that's looking good. We continue to prep in there. I've been in contact with the Klondike Fire, their night ops over there. They told me that they have reached to Ramsey Creek with their burnout. So things are looking good over there, progressing well for them. If you guys have any questions, please come find me after the briefing. I'd be more happy to answer them. Thanks.
Morning, folks. Barry Schullenberger with your work assignment for today. Just want to start off here in Branch 4 with branch directors Jay Stallnacker and Rob Dinneman. We're doing some really good work here on this east side, super important. We're getting some mop up 150 feet down lower, 50 to 100 feet up in Division Hotel country, and we're continuing to work those smokes in there. We've had some IA calls that have been in that area. That's going to continue to happen as the public sees those smokes. They're not sure if they're inside or outside our line, so it's our due diligence to make sure that those smokes are in the right place and they're not outside the line. That'll be part of that work assignment that we'll be doing today. Okay, as we come around the horn here, Branch 3 with Brandon Lewis and Scott Beecham as branch directors. Division Alpha, as you heard here, we've got this burnout operation. We're going to focus on this north end up here, up by Gleese and Gleese Creek to the west. Filling that in, working down this dozer line, slowly trying to get this this very northern tip filled in with fire so that we can make that secure to help with that community that's up there and relieve them of some of the issues that they're worried about with fire in that area. Okay, again, here's the Bear Camp Road. That is one of our priority areas that we're wanting to hold. And we've got fire that we put in there last night that we're slowly letting it back down. We'll continue to monitor that. If we need to add to it, we certainly will. But folks are continuing to prep in there, making sure final touches in that Bear Camp Road are good and secure so that we are ready to go through that road system there. Okay, as you heard Todd talk about, we do got fire over here in Division India in a couple spots. Their mission today is to continue to bring fire down the 2402 road, also known as the Chrome Ridge, and keep in front of the fire as necessary. When we work down into Sierra, we've done a lot of scouting in this private area. These structures down in here are secure. There's sprinkler systems. It's good and wet down in here. They're going to do some final prep, continue to look for opportunities there to do more missions that are possible. But the key here in Sierra is also paying attention to the action that's happened with the Klondike Fire and their burnout operation working up here towards Ramsey Creek. Okay. Contingency group, Rocky Gilbert and Joe Tone. Those folks are working on the Peavine Road as our backup option up above here on top. And that will continue on today as there's still a lot of hard work to be done in there. Off your map out here to the west, we have Agnes, and we've got some folks out here in Agnes that are opening up old Biscuit and Chetco lines, getting that cleaned up, working on some snagging, and we're in good communication with them. We're down checking on that work as well. Division India Resources, talk to your division today. You are going to Spike Camp right up here, okay? Bear Camp Spike, all right? And your division will tell you who is and who isn't going. There's a few people that aren't, but most everybody is. Okay, with that, it's going to be a busy day again. Be on your toes and make sure you're listening to your radio, both on the ground and air to ground. Thanks.
Morning. Damon Schultz with Structural Branch this morning. So we're going to kind of follow along Barry there. We have two task forces that will be up here in Alpha Alpha, working close with Alpha Alpha, supporting the structures and the mop up around the areas and general patrol in that area, along with a little bit more triage up in the Peavine Road area. We also have a task force over here on Bravo Bravo. We'll be working with Branch and Bravo Bravo patrol, mop up around the structures, and chasing any of the smokes that may pop up in that area. We're also going to work with Sierra over here to make sure we're buttoned up on these structures out in the middle and see what we can do with them there. Thank you.
Good morning, folks. Andrew Stinchfield with Fire Behavior this morning. So I got a couple things for you. First of all, you will see the activity start to pick up again earlier in the day. We're thinking right around 11 or so, things will start to get active again, similar to what they did yesterday. So the other thing to consider for the day, as the IMET said, we're still under that northerly flow, but they did put kind of some northwesterlies switching to northeasterlies today. So we definitely will see new areas of alignment, especially in this Galice drainage, all that area, as well as up here in India. So just be real heads up to that. There's some places where there's a lot of fuel between the fire line and where there's actually good black. So the fire does have potential to make some pretty good runs towards the line. The other thing, so we went on a flight last night and talking with operations, the brush fuel model out there, especially in those old burn scars, is very, very volatile right now. Checking the live fuel moistures, I think I had it in the forecast yesterday. The average between the herbaceous and the woody is around 50%. That's pretty much fully cured for everything. So just be real heads up if you guys are working in those areas. The fire can change quickly in those areas, especially where it's in alignment on some of those ridge tops coming down. The third thing that I have for you is the preheated fuels. So a lot of these areas, the fire, I mean, it's done great work backing off of these real steep slopes. So those of you that have been at lookout points or Been able to kind of see across and see how that's working. We're a few days past that fire actually backing down. There's a lot of red needle trees out there, and the fire is not to the bottom yet. So where we have that continuous fuel up those ridges, up those slopes, there is potential for the fire to kind of pick up in the bottom, burn through those pockets, and actually make runs through the areas that have already burned. So be heads up for that. Have a real safe day today. Thanks.